is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
It is finally game day once again here at beautiful Miller Park. What a great night for baseball we have tonight as the San Francisco Giants are here, starting a three-game series. The Brew Crew and the Giants tied for the same record right now, but the Brewers have a one-game lead in their division. The Brewers lead the Cardinals by a game in the National League Central, 1.5 up on the Pirates, and these are two of the top four teams in the league, only the Dodgers with a better record. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us here tonight. Looking forward to this matchup. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Sophia Minard, our reporter tonight. We start the broadcast today with some troubling news for the Milwaukee Brewers. For the first time all year, a starting pitcher is coming out of the rotation rock. Matt Garza on the disabled list. It's a 15-day DL stint, but it may be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, those oblique strains could be a problem, but it was kind of a shocker on Sunday in St. Louis. Matt Garza, a one-hit shutout through 6 innings. It was the next to last pitch that he threw. He came into the dugout, he got through that inning, but apparently got pulled out. Said he wasn't able to go back out. So in return, and what the Brewers are going to do, bring up Rob Wooten. They're going to strengthen the bullpen. The Brewers do not need another starting pitcher until Saturday. Unclear as to who that's going to be, but certainly a big blow. Matt Garza was probably one of the most consistent guys the Brewers had in that rotation as of late.
Yeah, and he was having a great day against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Brewers trying to bounce back from a tough loss, a series loss to the Cardinals, the loss on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Giants are red hot. They've won 3 of their last 4. And we got a nice pitching matchup for you here tonight. Tim Lincecum, he of 2 no-hitters and 2 Cy Youngs, will match up against Jimmy Nelson. Tiny Tim against Big Jim. We'll hear from Craig and Davey when we continue.
Giants and Dodgers in, and the Brewers all strong contenders. I like what BA said. Tiny Tim and Big Jim all set to go. Tim Lincecum and Jimmy Nelson ready to toe the rubber for their respective teams as we get ready here for Game 1. Craig and Davey back on board with you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Let's dial in on Jimmy Nelson. We know Tim Lincecum can throw no-hitters. Did one in June. Nelson, though, did not pitch in his last scheduled start because of a blister. Prior to that, looked real sharp in his previous 2 starts.
Boy, he certainly has. And, you know, let's just hope that the blister doesn't affect, you know, his breaking ball, because this guy's got an outstanding breaking ball, good fastball. All he's got to do is pitch ahead in the count. This young man will be fine. He's got good stuff. And, you know, his last outing was outstanding. Just made really one bad pitch that cost him the ball game.
Nelson set to go deep here tonight against the Giants, a team he will face for the first time in his career. He makes his 5th start of the season. Got first pitch next.
Not only losing a series to their division rival St. Louis, but losing one of their aces as well. Now the crew will look to Miller Park to spark their play in a crucial point in the season. Tonight, Milwaukee welcomes the San Francisco Giants, a club that features a pitcher with no-hit potential and a catcher with NL MVP on his resume. Which team will make a statement as one of the National League's elite? Find out next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And we are just about set for baseball tonight. Crystal clear Tuesday night. The Brewers and the Giants. 70 degrees here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Good crowd filing in. The field looks perfect. Jimmy Nelson getting his warm-up tosses in. And the Brewers will match up for a 3-game series and a 6-game homestand. The Dodgers are coming in after Bochy's Giants. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon against Bruce Bochy. Every other year they win the World Series. The even-numbered years it has been. 2010, 2012, and they're hoping this is their year again this year. The Giants batting order brought to you by Associated Bank. Hunter Pence will lead off. Joe Panic at second base. Brandon Belt hits third. Middle of the order is Pablo Sandoval, Gregor Blanco, and Brandon Crawford. Juan Perez will be in left field with Andrew Susak catching. Tim Lincecum on the mound for the Giants. That's the lineup that will face Jimmy Nelson, start number 5 of the season and just his 6th career big league start.
Yeah, did not pitch on the recently completed road trip. It's been 9 days since his last start. He took a loss against the Mets here at Miller Park. He pitched well, gave up a 2-run home run in the 6th. That was the only runs that he allowed. And his last 2 starts have been very good. 5 earned runs in 13 innings for Jimmy Nelson.
Hunter Pence digs in. We're ready to play ball tonight. Tom Halyard will call the balls and strikes. He's also the crew chief this evening. Giants are coming from New York, where they took 3 out of 4 from the Mets. Still trailing the Dodgers in the very competitive National League West, as Nelson's first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go. Nelson's first bolt, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, you figure he's going to feel fresh. Again, 9 days between starts. The question is, how will his control be?
And a wild one inside. A blister knocked Jimmy Nelson out of his last start. And Ron Renicky saying it was more like a hot spot than a blister, and something that they've been wanting to do anyway is split Peralta and Jimmy Nelson in the rotation as Pence bounces one to second base. Ricky Weeks is there, and there is the first out, and that's how Jimmy Nelson's night begins.
Let's check out the Brewers defense, brought to you by Menard. Gerardo Parra gets a start. Tim Lincecum on the mound. He won a couple of left-handers. So Parra in right, Gomez, Braun in the outfield. Got Ramirez, Segura, Ricky Weeks. You got Scooter Gennett still hampered by that leg problem. You figure he might be in there in the next couple of days. Reynolds at first and Lucroy behind home plate.
Second start for Gerardo Parra. Made his first start with the Brewers on Saturday, and his first game with Milwaukee last Friday after the trade deadline passed. There is strike 1 to Joe Panik, 23-year-old New York native. Played his college ball at St. John's, and a former Giants first rounder, already here in the big leagues, and he is a hitter. Giants are high on Joe Panik. He was a very good hitter at the amateur level at St. John's, one of the top hitters in the Big East, and has been a hitter throughout the Giants minor league system. Marco Scutaro still on the disabled list. They've had a few second basemen over there. Dan Uggla, as a matter of fact, was offered an audition last week. He was released after he refused a minor league assignment. So the Giants are going to go with Panik, and Panik strikes out in his first try against Jimmy Nelson. 2 up and 2 down with a K.
It's a relatively young ball club as far as the position players go for the Giants, and Panik swings right through a hanging slider from Jimmy Nelson. There's Bruce Bochy, one of the best in the business. Got a couple of World Series rings under his belt, and right in the thick of it once again this year.
Well, we talked a little bit about it in our Brewers Live pregame show as Brandon Belt steps in with 2 outs. The Giants, like the Brewers, had a pretty sizable lead in the division, and in early June they were actually 21 games over 500. They were 42 and 21 for a record, and they had a 9.5 game lead over the Dodgers in the NL West. They find themselves in second place to start play today, a game and a half back of Los Angeles, just 1 back in the loss column. That compares to the Brewers. The Brewers at one point were 19 games over, and the Brewers had a 6.5 game lead.
It's been a year of streaks for a lot of ball clubs. You know, right now the Giants are in the midst of a pretty good one. They've won 4 of their last 5, and before that stretch they had lost 5 in a row,
including a final at-bat win yesterday in New York. They played a day game in a wraparound series to take 3 out of 4 from the Mets. These are the 2 teams the Brewers are going to face on this homestand, the front-running Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers are coming in beginning Friday for a 3-game series. And Jimmy Nelson, powering the fastball early, strikes out Brandon Belt. 3 up, 3 down with 2 Ks. fantastic start. A couple of Ks in his first inning. Ron Renicky and the Brewers know this is a very important homestand, getting into the final sprint, last 2 months of the season. And the Brewers ahead in the division race. Carlos Gomez will lead it off. Parra, then Braun. You got Ramirez, Lucroy, and Reynolds in the middle with Weeks, Segura. Jimmy Nelson will round out the Associated Bank Brewers batting order against Tim Lincecum.
Yep, won the Cy Young Award back in 2008 and 2009. The author of a no-hitter this year. He threw a no-hitter back on June 25th against the Padres, part of a 4-game winning streak. He's run into a rough stretch as of late. His last 2 have not been very good.
And Lincecum has made an appearance out of the bullpen this season, right around the All-Star break, and since coming out of that break, he struggled a little bit, but he pours the strikes in. Gomez up there hacking away early, and hits 0-2 quickly on Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, a little early work with Johnny Narin before the ball game. The last time he did that here at Miller Park, he hit a home run his first time up.
And Lincecum strikes him out. So a K to start it for Tim Lincecum, who has authored no-hitters against the San Diego Padres twice in his career, including earlier this season. The Menards Giants defense.
Well, Pablo Sandoval over at third base leads all Major League third basemen in fielding percentage. Quite a difference from the beginning of his career. The Giants as a team, second most double plays in all of the National League. They've turned 112 of them.
Noticeably absent from the Giants lineup here tonight, Buster Posey getting the night off. Andrew Susac doing the catching for the Giants, and Michael Morse is out of the lineup for the second consecutive day for San Francisco. Their struggling outfielder and big power bat.
Posey just getting a day off today. He's worked a lot, and they've been playing him a lot. He's been swinging the bat very well, so a good guy to have out of that lineup for Jimmy Nelson.
That's the Miller Park debut in a Brewers uniform for Gerardo Parra. Got a nice little hand as he was introduced, and fits into the 2 spot in the batting order today, and he hits one sharply but right at Panic, and Parra is out. 2 up and 2 down. Well, Lincecum back in the history books. His second career no-hitter, June 25th against the San Diego Padres, and becoming just the second pitcher in Major League history to twice no-hit the same team. Addie Joss did it for the Cleveland Naps against the White Sox. That was way back over 100 years ago, 1908, 1910. And Tim Lincecum turned the trick for the second time.
And doing it these days with much less velocity than early in his career. He's only getting it up there at about 91 to 92. He used to be mid-90s with the fastball, with a good splitter. He'd throw a slider and a curveball. Velocity is just not there anymore, but he's been able to adjust.
Ryan Braun with 2 outs. Braun with nice career numbers against Lincecum. Overall, he comes in batting .291, 14 homers, 65 driven in. He's a .331 career hitter against the Giants and a .333 career hitter against Lincecum. And Lincecum strikes him out with a high fastball. So both pitchers 3 up, 3 down frames with 2 Ks.
To the second, and tonight Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with the Boys and Girls Club. Now, Fox Sports Wisconsin has had a long-standing relationship with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, and a very special anniversary for them this year, celebrating the 30th anniversary of female members. So they have dubbed it the Year of the Girl. We invited 50 female ambassadors to come join us at Miller Park. They came in on our Fan Express. We had a panel of women who work in sports from the Brewers, the Bucks, Fox Sports Wisconsin. It was a great day, and I'm joined now by one of the ambassadors, Bianca Robinson. And Bianca, what has been the highlight of today in celebrating the Year of the Girl?
I think the highlight of today was meeting with the panel of judges and learning their experience about what they do and how they achieve their goals and how long they have been doing it and what they have overcome to get to their job. So I think that's the highlight of my day so far.
Now, you're almost 13. You told me you go to the Boys and Girls Club every day. What's the best part of going to the club?
Just meeting new people, having fun with friends every day, and going to different areas to learn new things.
All right. Thanks, Bianca, for your time. And Brian, the Year of the Girl has special meaning to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Club was the very first club to allow female members, so it is certainly a big year and worthy of a big celebration.
Very cool. Did you get any questions today, Sophia?
I did get some questions. They had some really good questions. They put us on the hot seat, so they were awesome to work with.
All right. That's good work. Great stuff today. By the way, every day is the Day of the Girl. Every year is the Year of the Girl in my house.
Yeah, I was going to say your house. Yep.
So
Bianca pretty poised.
Yeah.
I think Sophia might have a little competition there.
She was very good, very poised. Yeah,
nice.
she could maybe do a little reporting.
Yeah.
A little job shadow with Sophia. Good stuff. Pablo Sandoval bounced out. And one away here. Jimmy Nelson facing Gregor Blanco. These two offenses are built much the same. They have some power. It is an aggressive nature. You see a lot of early swings and counts. And if a pitcher is going right, you see a lot of early outs. But they can also do some damage with those first swings. And Blanco hacking away on a 2-0, slaps one down the left field line. And there is the game's first hit, Gregor Blanco, who's been playing center field in the absence of Angel Pagan.
No, when you get behind in the count, these hitters are going to be sitting on fastballs. It doesn't really matter how hard you throw them. They're going to be able to get a good swing. That one down the middle. Blanco slices it into left field. Jammed himself just a little bit. But this is a good offense, and they've been swinging the bats. The Giants are 5th in the National League in home runs. So hitting in a ballpark at home where it's tough to hit home runs, they're still racking up the home run totals. They're a much better team on the road than they are at home. They're actually a game under 500 at home.
Yeah, hard to figure. And while their pitchers love pitching at AT&T Park, the Giants not only have the best road record in the National League, but best in the major leagues. They're 32-21 away from AT&T Park, which is a great place to play. And they are established pretty well throughout the National League among the major offensive categories. They do swing it. They have some threats offensively.
They don't run much, though. Last in stolen bases, so you don't have to worry too much about that with most of these guys.
Here's their shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Slick fielding shortstop. Always capable of a highlight reel play. Looked like Blanco might have wanted to run there. He had a flinch towards second, a better throw, and then Jimmy Nelson might have an out.
Yeah, Blanco, one of the few guys that will run on this starting lineup. He's got 11 stolen bases, been caught 4 times. And Pence the other.
Runner at first, 1 man out. Nelson looking for the double play ball here and trying to keep Blanco close. Giants are hopeful that Angel Pagan will return from a back injury on Thursday. Bruce Bochy saying earlier today the plan as of right now, at least as of game time, was that he would be back in the lineup on the active roster Thursday. Might see him here tomorrow as well.
He's only played 63 games, and the folks that follow this ball club say they miss him badly. Pagan was off to a great start, a 300 hitter.
A big part of their World Series winning season of 2012. 2-0 the count on Crawford. And that ball's in the air to center field. Gomez will ease in a few steps. And there is out number 2.
Got away with that one, didn't he? Another 2-0 fastball. That one, I think, a 2-seamer that got a little bit of movement right as it got to home plate and had Belt on the end. Or I should say Crawford out on the end just a little bit.
Second out of the frame. That'll bring up Juan Perez, 27-year-old outfielder, starting in left field tonight. Told you Michael Morse getting his second consecutive game off. Morse is mired in a long slump at the plate. Just 1 hit in his last 11 at bats. And there's a bouncer right to Reynolds. Nice and easy to first. And that will retire the side. Jimmy Nelson off to a good start. Brewers are coming up. Bottom of the second inning. Giants got some bad news. Matt Cain was trying to come back from an elbow injury. Actually threw a little bit over the weekend, but he has decided to have season-ending surgery, removing some loose bodies out of that right elbow as Aramis Ramirez takes a strike. So that's a tough break for the Giants. And Cain was trying to hang on, trying to avoid surgery. Not the Tommy John procedure. There's no ligament replacement. But they're going to have to open up that elbow and going to have to take out some bone spurs. And the idea is that Cain would be ready to go for spring training 2015. But a big arm.
Yeah.
One of the guys at the front of their rotation when he's right. And the Giants are going to be without him the rest of the season.
And you knew there was something going on with Matt Cain all season long. 2-7 of 4 earned run average over 4, giving up a lot of runs. And just not himself. So now you know why.
Now, and in and out of the rotation on the DL on 3 different occasions. I think now, and you never want to see an injury like this, but for the Giants, it does give them some closure, some finality on this season, and then they can plan accordingly. As Lincecum rings the bell on Ramirez. Aramis strikes out looking. 3 strikeouts already for Tim Lincecum.
Now you see that fastball locates it very well. We talked about his velocity's down, but if you put it there, it really doesn't matter how hard you're throwing. That's the Hall of Fame Express right there, right on the corner and at the knees. Susac holds it there nicely.
So the red hot Ramirez is retired. And here is Jonathan Lucroy batting 5th here tonight. This was the spot, the batting order, that Renicky said that Lucroy is ideally suited, but he has hardly hit 5th this season. He's hit a lot of 3rd. He's hit a lot of 2nd. I think with Gerardo Parra in the mix, Renick's always looking for that left-handed batter to hit second ideally. Try to protect a base runner and a stolen base threat in Gomez. And he loves Lucroy's ability to drive in runs. And hitting fifth, you're usually at the plate with a stack of base runners in front of you.
And that's the thing that hurts with Jeanette out of the lineup. You get that extra left-handed bat, a guy that's been swinging the bat well when he's in the lineup. That quad injury for Jeanette has been a problem for he and the Brewers and Ron Renick in making out that lineup. And when he hurt that leg, he was swinging the bat well.
Now Lucroy, when hitting fifth, the Brewers as a team are 16-9. So 7 games over 500. Take those stats for what they're worth, but whenever you get a guy in your what you feel as a manager is your ideal batting order, you want to do all you can to try to get it back to that spot, and the Brewers really haven't been able to do that. Some nagging injuries to Jeanette. You got Segura dealing with some leg problems as well, although he's in the lineup tonight.
It's not Lucroy, it's everybody around him. Those guys in and out of the lineup, and Ron Renick forced to move him around, and Jonathan really doesn't mind. He doesn't care where he's hitting. He's the same hitter no matter where he's at. And that's the way it should be. You shouldn't change your approach based on where you at in the lineup. I mean, that's the manager's job to fit your style into a spot in the lineup, and Lucroy keeps that in mind very well.
2-2 to Lucroy, and a breaking ball from Lincecum is fouled off. Lincecum has all of the pitches. He'll throw them in any count. He's got a splitter, slider, curveball, has that fastball that he locates, and his pitch speed variance is what makes him so tough to deal with. I mean, he'll go anywhere from 92 all the way down into the low 70s, and you usually don't see the same kind of pitches twice in an at-bat.
And these pitches are tough to see, period, with that delivery. Hitters will tell you, even though he's not throwing all that hard, it's very tough to pick up the baseball out of his hand with that drop and drive delivery. Almost touching his throwing hand on the pitcher's mound. He drops it so much and then come firing at you all arms and legs.
His nickname is the Freak, and it is due in large part to the delivery that he has, his mechanics. And when he first came up, he was able to generate incredible amount of velocity from a very small frame. Lucroy dribbles one over to third. Sandoval will make the play for out number 2. 5 in a row for Lincecum. No one like Tim Lincecum.
And watch the way he drops that arm down. It's stiff as a board on the way down, and then he still can't see the baseball. Now he can pick it up very late. And watch the follow through. Talk about follow through. Doesn't really short arm it at all. I mean, that's a perfect follow through, and one of the reasons why he hasn't had too many arm problems.
There's a first pitch breaking ball to Mark Reynolds. That follow through was taught to Lincecum by his father, and the way he would entice him to finish his pitches was to put a dollar bill on the ground, on the mound. If he wanted the dollar bill, he had to reach down and get it.
Sometimes bribery is good, right?
I think it works very well in my household right now with all parties in the year of the girl. Quickly 0-2 on Reynolds. Reynolds had a lot of matchups with the Giants. You saw his numbers there when he was a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks, playing in the same division. And he waves and misses. Lincecum strikes him out. It is secured at first, and that will end the second inning. Lincecum 4 strikeouts to the first 6 batters he's faced.
Brewers and the Giants, and we check in with the team chief operating officer, Rick Schlesinger. And Rick, plenty of homestand highlights coming up this week. There's no bigger fan favorite than Hank the dog, and he's getting a special giveaway on Wednesday night.
I'm holding the Hank beach towel. It's an oversized beach towel featuring our favorite ballpark pup. All fans tomorrow get a beach towel, and Hank will be here tomorrow as well. First 500 fans in the right field corner will get a chance to take a picture with Hank.
Now, Friday also continues the Free Fridays t-shirt giveaways. We've got the Barrel Man logo. What's special about the Barrel Man logo?
Everybody loves the Barrel Man. He's our first real logo. He's before Bernie. And our fans keep calling, asking for more Barrel Man stuff. So this is the first in a series of things we're doing with the Barrel Man. More surprises to announce later, but the t-shirt's going to be a big fan favorite, I think.
And on Sunday, we've also got Cerveceros Day, which is another fan favorite. All the fans will be receiving the Chorizos bobblehead as well.
Yep. So in addition to a first-place team, you've got 3 giveaways in this homestand, and expecting big crowds and big wins.
All right. Thanks, Rick, for your time. BA, back up to you.
All right, Sophia, thanks. And a beautiful bare-handed pickup by Aramis Ramirez.
He does that as well as anybody. He made a nice play like that on Sunday in St. Louis.
Andrew Susek grounds out.
Yeah, spreads those fingers out almost like a basket, and then gets a grip on it, makes a nice throw all at the same time. That bare hand pickup creates a lot of problems for a lot of third basemen, but not Ramirez.
First out of the 3rd inning. Thanks to Rick Schlesinger for joining us, giving us a rundown of the homestand. It's going to be a fun one here. The Brewers are going to get a chance to see how good they are right now, matching up against the Giants and the Dodgers, 2 contending teams. Lincecum cuts and misses. 0-2 the count. August is going to be a big month for the Brewers, obviously for any team in contention, but the teams that they are playing and the locations they are playing in. 2 West Coast road trips remain for the Brewers. They'll have one to San Diego and San Francisco at the end of the month. They still have to go to Los Angeles on the next road trip. That'll be a Chicago-Los Angeles road trip. Those are never easy out west. Big ballparks, pitcher-friendly parks.
Yeah, the Dodgers pitching makes them pitchers friendly.
Right.
You see the pitching matchup in that Dodger series. Brewers are going to get Kershaw on Sunday
against Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah,
that'll be his next time around. Dodgers have Josh Beckett, Zach Greinke, and then Kershaw's. Lincecum rolls to short. Segura takes care of the Giants pitcher.
Hey, this Friday through Sunday, as the Brewers take on the Dodgers, it's a showdown of National League powerhouses. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or go to Brewers.com. The LA Dodgers into town.
So if you're into pitching matchups, and that matters for you for ticket purchases, you got Kyle Loesch and Josh Beckett Friday, to be announced for the Brewers against Zach Greinke on Saturday, and then Jimmy Nelson and Clayton Kershaw Sunday. Kershaw on the mound against the Angels tonight.
Yeah, TBA, that's Matt Garza's spot in the rotation. The Brewers unsure as to who's going to get that start. I might call somebody up from the minor leagues.
They got some options to think about. Have Marco Estrada, the long man in the bullpen who was in the rotation. Got some options in the minor leagues as well. Brewers have Rob Wooten in their bullpen tonight. He took Garza's spot on the active roster, so they'll have an extra arm in the bullpen for the next 4 days. Well, they asked if he went, and yes, he did, says Hal Gibson. And Hunter Pence is in a hole 1 and 2. Pence bounced to second his first time up. The 1-2, a bouncing ball up the middle. Got a hustle here. Segura, oh my goodness, the throw to first in time. What? That was unbelievable. Gene Segura.
Well, Pence thinks he's safe. He's standing at first base, and here comes Bruce Bochy. What a play by Gene Segura, whether he's out or safe. This is unbelievable. Spins around, a good throw and a good pick by Reynolds. He gets the out call for now, and Bruce Bochy is going to ask for a review.
Wow, that's close. What a unbelievable play by Segura. This will be the definitive look, and it looks like he's going to be safe.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Well, I've been in favor of replay until right now, because that ruins a great play.
Yeah, that's going to be a base hit for Hunter Pence, but you're right. I mean, that shows you about everything that Gene Segura can do. Range, balance, throwing arm, all in one. Unfortunately, it's going to show that he didn't get the out, but still a great play. Good effort. And he beats that by plenty.
Now this is going to be overturned as we have an early challenge here from Bruce Bochy.
Can't imagine why it's taking so long. Umpires are down there watching. Not sure what they're looking at in New York, but that's a missed call.
Tom Hallion's a crew chief. He'll make the call. Safe is the call. And Pence will reach with 2 outs. Boy, what an amazing play by Segura.
Range, soft hands, throwing arm is all wrapped up into one play for Gene Segura, but just a little bit too late. Sometimes you take for granted what that young man can do at shortstop, but incredible stuff.
In real speed, the quickness of Segura. Man, that's as good as you can do it.
Yeah, quick. Good throwing arm, right on the money. Short hop. Did a good job by Reynolds to pick the short hop.
Could it still be a play of the day if it wasn't an out?
Probably not.
Where are you at on that?
Yeah,
No,
probably not.
Maybe not. Well, we should keep it anyway.
I mean, you could show it, but it's not going to be in top 10.
Does it, through the years, people don't have to know that it was overturned, right?
Just eliminate the end of it.
Yeah. So a base runner with 2 outs. And Joe Panik, a swing and a miss. Panik struck out in the first. Just getting his big league career started. What a name, huh?
Yeah.
Joe Panik.
I was going to say, I'm glad you brought it up, not me. I think I'd figure a way to change the pronunciation of it.
Maybe Panik?
They say he can hit, though. You were talking about it earlier. One of 3 rookies in the starting lineup for the Giants tonight.
He's got some nice numbers coming up through the Giants system. Didn't take him long to make it to the big leagues. That ball's ripped back up the middle. Segura lays out, can't get it. And Panik is aboard, back-to-back singles. Both of them coming with 2 out. And the Giants putting up a bit of a threat here with 2 away in the third.
Well, second time through, the Giants maybe going to make some adjustments. Panik certainly did. He got a 2-seamer up, out over the plate, and didn't try and pull it. And bounces it into center field.
Panik had a career high 3 hits yesterday against the Mets. And his first hit of the night against Jimmy Nelson. So 2 on for Brandon Belt. First time a Giant has reached scoring position. Brandon Belt just coming back from a concussion, returned Saturday. Belt had a thumb injury prior to the concussion. Missed 50 games. He convinced his manager that he doesn't need to go on a minor league rehab. Last year he was on the disabled list. He came back, went on a minor league rehab, and he was getting 2 hits every night. Into center field. That ball's well hit, but Gomez is right there, and that will end the inning. So Nelson strands a pair. Bottom of the order coming up. Weeks, Segura, and Nelson. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. All kind of fun here at Miller Park. Even outside the lines, get in there and have a little fun at the kids zone. Take some pictures. You can run with the sausages in there. You can test your arm strength. Yeah, great time. Great to be back at Miller Park. Good crowd on hand tonight on a Tuesday night for the Giants. No score as we play in the bottom of the third inning. Bottom of the order coming up. Ricky Weeks will lead off, followed by Segura, then Nelson. Tim Lincecum has struck out 4 Brewers already. First 6 batters he's faced. He's pouring in the strikes right now as well. He has 29 pitches. And 22 of those for strikes.
Yeah, he likes it here at Miller Park. His career numbers at Miller Park, 3-1. And his overall record against the Brewers, 4-3. There's a lot of winning in this ballpark.
Little tapper to the mound. Lincecum whistles it over to first. Weeks is retired. 7 in a row retired by Lincecum. Don't forget, you can get interactive with us on the broadcast. Tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown at an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. Here's Gene Segura. Well, good to see Segura bouncing around a little bit at short. He's been dealing with a bit of a quad injury, just tight, you know, a nagging injury, nothing to knock him out of the lineup or put him on the disabled list. He has not been his normal speedy self on the base paths. It hasn't really shown much in the quickness on the defensive side of things at shortstop. But Segura and Jeanette are dealing with leg injuries. And you're hoping that's not something that lingers. I did talk to Scooter Jeanette today at the cage. He said he feels 100% better after a day off yesterday. They're going to give him another day off today from the starting lineup. And hopefully you'd see him in the lineup tomorrow. And he's anxious to get back out there.
Yeah, it really didn't look all that great in St. Louis, you know, running down the line at first base.
Crawford backhands it. Strong throw to get Segura for out number 2.
And those leg injuries have a tendency to linger, and particularly this time of year, fatigue starting to set in. Show me a player in the big leagues right now that isn't feeling some type of nagging problem for him, whether it be a back or legs or maybe throwing arm. That's why they call it the dog days.
And then as a young player, you hear guys talk about the decision to play through or not. Oh, Jimmy Nelson. Jimmy Nelson has 2 career hits in his life, and both have come in the big leagues in his last 2 starts.
And he's got one against now Tim Lincecum, the first hit of the game.
He was 0 for 66 in his pro career. Never had a hit in the minor leagues.
He was saving them.
And he's got 2 here. Yeah. I mean, like he knew what he was doing right there.
No, he got a hit his last start. It was a 3rd inning hit with 1 out. It was the first hit for the Brewers that night, too, against the Mets.
There you go. First tally on the board for the Brewers.
That was against DeGrom.
That's a bona fide hot streak. And Gomez turns that one around deep left field. That is back there, and it's gone! A home run! Carlos Gomez! A 2-run shot. And the Brewers are on the board first tonight.
Early work again. How about Jimmy Nelson keeping the inning alive with 2 outs, base hit, home run for the Brewers, and they're on the board. They call him the igniter, Jimmy Nelson. A hanging slider that time right down the middle of the plate. You know what they call those? Cement mixers. They spin, don't move, and Gomez knocks it out of here. A little bit down on the end, just able to sneak it over that wall and left.
Well, that's the first home run for Carlos Gomez since July 25th. He homered against the New York Mets. Did not homer on the road trip. Finally picks one up here tonight. Number 16 of the year for Gomez.
It waited back nicely on that slider, and the early work pays off again for Johnny Naron.
Maybe Gomez should go in for early work every day. Every time he goes in for early work, he hits a home run.
2 for 2.
1-1 to Gerardo Parra. Count goes to 2-1.
Of course, there's always early work in the cages. This time we saw it out on the field today.
The public early work.
Yeah. Always working, these Brewers coaches, trying to get the most out of these guys.
Hitters can only hit in the batting cage so long before there's a little bit of frustration sets in. You want to see the result of the balls that you hit. Not just watch them go into the net.
And nets aren't that big, they're kind of like a little bit of a tunnel, maybe. What do you figure, 10 by 10?
Yeah.
A square tube, and it's short, just a little bit beyond where the pitcher would be. Yeah, you hit one, you want to know if it's going to go out, if it's going to carry pretty well, get that backspin. Can't tell in the cage a lot of times.
Got a big smile on his face, Gomez, who's been mired in a long slump at the plate. Just 3 hits in his last 33 at bats. Puts the Brewers on the board. 3-2 to Parra. Swung on and missed. Down he goes. Strikeout number 5 for Lincecum. But the Brewers strike their biggest offensive weapon, the igniter. Jimmy Nelson gets it started with a hit, and then Gomez goes deep. 2-run shot. 2-0 Brew Crew. The bat puts the Brewers on the board first tonight against Lincecum and the Giants. 2-0 Powerball home run leaderboard. Carlos Gomez inching his way closer. Now has 16 home runs to go along with 56 runs batted in now. Mark Reynolds still the club leader with 19. Davis out of the lineup tonight has 17. And then you got Braun with 14. Ramirez right behind him. 13. Lucroy has 12. You get the idea. The Brewers hit a lot of home runs, and when they hit home runs, they typically win. That's how this lineup is built. So Gomez puts the Brewers on top. Here we go to the 4th inning. The Giants are coming up. Pablo Sandoval will lead off. Gregor Blanco, then Brandon Crawford. You're noticing a ton of left-handed batting from the Giants tonight. You got the switch hitter Sandoval, including the pitcher Lincecum. 6 of the 9 in the lineup will hit off the left side against Jimmy Nelson.
And you got two of the everyday guys on the bench. That's the start today. You got Michael Morse, you got Buster Posey, two big bats out of that lineup tonight. Both of those right-handed hitters.
Almost as if Bochy is baiting the opposing manager to bring that lefty on late in a game. He's got some pop on the bench here tonight. Morse getting a mental break for a couple of days out of the starting lineup. He got off to a great start. Michael Morse hit 13 home runs in his first 59 games. He's only hit 2 since.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the Giants got out of the gate so well. Brendan Belt, same way. A lot of home runs early on. That mental day off is important. I mean, the mental fatigue affects you a lot more than the physical fatigue. And sometimes when you just get to sit in that dugout, watch your team play, does a lot for you.
Sandoval shoots one to short, and that eats up Gene Segura. So after a great play earlier, Segura unable to make a play here. He had to get it in the glove cleanly and make a strong throw. It would have been close. With Segura's arm, probably would have been an out.
Tough hop on the backhand. When you get a tough hop in front of you on your forehand, it's not as tough. See that ball come up a little bit on him, and off the heel of the glove, he thinks he should have made the play. We'll see how they score it.
No official ruling just yet. So Sandoval at first. Here's Gregor Blanco. And it's going to go as an error on Segura at E6, putting Sandoval at first base.
A lot of times official score take into consideration the speed of the hitter. Sandoval an average runner at best. If Segura keeps that in his glove, that's a sure out.
Blanco singled in the second, had the first hit for the Giants. Normally operates as a fourth outfielder, guy who can rotate in and out, kind of what the Brewers have with Gerardo Parra right now. But he's been starting a lot in center field in the absence of Pagan. Provides a good bat off the bench.
Mentioned a lot of young kids on this San Francisco Giants roster on the position player side. And one old wily veteran that was with the Brewers for a while, Travis Ishikawa.
Yeah.
An extra player on the Giants bench, left-handed hitter.
Two balls and a strike. In the air, left field, had him played down the line, and Parra makes a catch for the out. Good scouting right there. The Brewers had him well defensed, and Blanco is the first out for Nelson.
Hey, don't forget, tomorrow is Hank Beach Towel night at Miller Park. The Brewers host the Giants, and all fans will get a free Hank Beach Towel courtesy of Meyer. Hank will also be available for a pregame photo opportunity in his famous Hank house. For tickets and details, visit Brewers.com today.
I wonder if we could recreate that picture right there for the photo opportunity with you and Hank.
Beach towel wrapped around me.
Hank would be playing the role of himself, and then, yeah, sporting the bathing suit.
Would you like that, would you?
Frolicking on the beach. I think I just got a little sick.
So did I.
Big swing and a miss by Brandon Crawford.
Hang out down at Bradford Beach. Yeah, that'd be a nice day
good
for
look.
it.
Yeah, you got a boat down there, don't you?
McKinley.
Oh, and 2 on the Giants shortstop. Nelson has allowed 3 hits, all singles. Brandon Belt hit a line drive to center field for the final out last inning with 2 on. Looking for a double play ball here. And how about a strikeout? fastball right down the heart. I think he caught Crawford guessing.
Looking for something other than a fastball right down the middle of the plate. The danger of guessing with 2 strikes. Not exactly where Lucroy wanted it, but it was effective. A 2-seam fastball, supposed to be on the outside corner, right down the middle.
And the big ring up from Tom Hallion.
You do a lot of stretching before a game when you umpire like that, don't you? I mean, that's an oblique strain waiting to happen.
That is. He doesn't give you the big call on strike 1. I mean, he saves it. He saves it for the ring ups. Two gone. Juan Perez at the plate, and a good block back there by Lucroy. Got a couple of best catchers in the National League matching up in this series. Posey not in the starting lineup tonight. He'll be back in there tomorrow. Probably see him as a pinch hitter tonight.
And 2 very good offensive catchers, but I'll give the nod to Jonathan defensively. Plus, I'm a bit biased.
Lucroy putting together an MVP type season when you consider all that he does. Bouncer, that is just foul, not by much. Standing right there, Eric Cooper. By that much. Look how he positions himself there, huh?
Yeah. Well, the ball bounced before it bounced in foul territory, which means Eric Cooper looked to see where that ball bounced if it went over the bag in the air. And it just did miss the bag.
1-2 the count. And a swing and a foul tip right into the middle of Lucroy. A strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Jimmy Nelson. He's got 4 through 4 shutout innings. On 2 hits. Giants about hit him, but Brewers needed 1 swing of the bat to produce those 2 runs. A Carlos Gomez homer last inning. Carsu.com trivia tonight. Prior to this season, who is the last MLB pitcher to throw a no-hitter and record a save in the same season? Lincecum threw a no-hitter and recorded a save this year. And we're looking for the last one as Ryan Braun starts it. Lazy fly ball into right center, and a collision, a mild collision caught by Blanco.
It was interesting, that save for Lincecum. That was in Philly, or against the Phillies, and it was a 14-inning game. He was the last pitcher available. Actually, it was at Philly. That's the only reason why he would have gotten a save. They scored in the 14th. He had to pitch the bottom of the inning and picked up a save. And really hasn't been the same guy since.
Right off the end of the bat, Ramirez on the first pitch, and 2 quick outs for Lincecum in the 4th.
Got a save in Philly on the 22nd, and the 2 starts after that. Lincecum 0-1. He's given up 11 earned runs in 7 2/3 innings before tonight.
Lincecum did great work for the Giants out of the bullpen in 2012. He was demoted from the rotation, or taken out of the rotation, put into the bullpen, kind of the long man, the swing man, and he ended up being an invaluable piece for the Giants in their World Series run. He was great against the Reds in their division series round when they were down 0-2, losing their first 2 home games. Then they won all 3 games in Cincinnati, and will go on to win the World Series that season, 2012. And Lincecum was a star out of the pen that year. First time around in 2010, that was one of his Cy Young years, as Lucroy rifles one into the gap left center. That's going to go all the way to the fence. And Jonathan Lucroy continues to collect the doubles. That's a 2-out double here in the 4th. And he has a realistic chance to set the franchise doubles record this year for a single season. That's his 36th of the year.
Man, look like a slider or something like that. Check out the spin. Yeah, slider, cutter, something like that. That stayed right down the middle of the plate. Looks a lot like the pitch that Gomez hit out of the ballpark. This time, Lucroy able to wait back a little bit longer and hit that one hard into the gap out there. So a 2-out double. And Brewers got their 2 runs with 2 outs and nobody on. A single and a home run.
Paul Goldschmidt out for the year with a broken hand. Lucroy 3 doubles away from catching Goldschmidt as Reynolds waves and misses. In franchise history, there are only 3 players who have recorded 50 or more doubles in a season, and all 3 of those players are on the active roster for the Brewers. Lyle Overbay is a franchise leader, 53 doubles in 04. Ramirez had 50 in 2012, and Lucroy could be the 3rd. He's on a pace for 51. I know how you love the on a pace statistic.
You know, at this point in the season, it's legitimate. You start saying that in April, that's when it doesn't make a lot of sense.
When is the deadline of the on a pace?
It has to start after the All-Star break.
Oh, I see. Okay. Jot that down. I knew that bugged you. I didn't know you had rules, unwritten rules about it.
I just made it up, basically.
Just now?
Yeah. Didn't really think about it.
Well, it seems like that's a good way to go about it, though. Standing. When do we break out the standings for the first time?
When you're in first place, it's never too soon.
Oh, okay. Reynolds takes a call, strike 3. Lincecum surprised him with a fastball, and the Brewers strand a runner at second. We head to the 5th, 2-0 Brew Crew.
So fans will have the opportunity to donate $40, and in exchange they'll get a mystery bag which will contain an autographed baseball by either a Brewers player, manager Ron Renicky, or Hall of Famer Bob Uecker. So the Brewers wives will be around the ballpark at tables selling the mystery bags until they are sold out. Again, this is on Saturday, and the proceeds will support the Next Door Foundation. Always a great cause when the wives are out selling the mystery bags. And Ron Renicky said that he did not anticipate that the blister on Jimmy Nelson's right middle finger would be an issue. He felt that the early innings would be a good indicator for how Nelson was handling it. They thought he could go deep in the game and weren't anticipating having him on any limitations. Just 3 hits allowed so far for Nelson tonight.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Good one, and no real concerns so far between innings in the dugout. Nelson rolling along here, 4 shutout with 4 strikeouts. Has not walked a batter. Lincecum has struck out 6 through 4 innings, but he's given up the 2 runs on the Gomez home run. 5th inning, and Andrew Susac leads off. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Giants. Susac, Lincecum, and Hunter Pence. It's been 3 hits and an error tonight behind Nelson. All of the hits singles.
Sorry about that. He's got good velocity, and he's made some mistakes with his breaking pitch, but he's been able to get away with it. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher. Every now and again he'll take a little bit off the slider.
Bouncing ball to Segura. And Susac is retired. First out of the 5th inning for Nelson. Tomorrow the Brewers will send Gallardo to the mound against Ryan Vogelsong, and then Jake Peavy will start for the Giants on Thursday afternoon against Willie Peralta. And when we talked earlier about the blister and Nelson and the added bonus that Renicky's been looking for an opportunity, whether it be maybe injury or off day, to split Peralta and Jimmy Nelson. He's finally able to do that. Yeah. So Nelson goes today, Gallardo tomorrow, which is a totally different look to an opposition. And then you got Peralta with the hard sinker going on Thursday.
Yeah, you try and separate your guys that throw very similar, like Peralta and Nelson, particularly if they're both going to pitch against the same team. And that's the way it was early on, but because of the realignment of the rotation, you get to separate those two.
Lincecum grounded to short his first time up. And Nelson put it right by him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, which is where he's been all game. That was his first pitch of the game, was at 95.
Yeah, the 4-seam fastball at 95. He's throwing a 2-seam at about 92, 93. 95 up there. A pitcher's going to have a very difficult time with that.
5 strikeouts for Nelson. 3rd time through the batting order now. Top of the order coming up, Pence with 2 away. Now in his 3rd season with the Giants. Last September, Pence was close to hitting the free agent market. But he likes San Francisco and wants to stay in San Francisco, so he signed a 5-year extension with the Giants. That was a very unusual contract signing. You don't see many guys sign multi-year deals in the final days of September. Essentially a month away from being a free agent.
Right.
Less than.
Unless you really want to stay.
And he does, and he will. It's a contract that'll run through the 2018 season.
He's been a good player. You know, Houston, Philly, San Francisco. He's been a part of some winning teams in Philly and San Fran, and a little bit unorthodox the way he goes about it, but he gets it done.
2-1 to count. Pence a little bit late, fouls it back. Nothing Hunter Pence does is how you would teach it mechanically. How he throws, how he swings the bat. He chokes up on the bat, the way he stands, but he's been getting the job done in a major way for many years.
Yep, his 8th season in the big leagues.
Started with the Astros. We were there when he was called up, as a matter of fact. Wears his pant legs above the knees.
Like football.
Nobody does that. It was a trade deadline deal from the Astros to the Phillies, and then Phillies shipped him to the Giants. And he was a big part of that 2012 World Series team. Jam shot roller. Ramirez gobbles it up. Throws over to first in time to get Pence. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jimmy Nelson. Out, 2-run home run. That was after a Jimmy Nelson single. First hit of the game by the Brewers pitcher. Brewers have 3 hits. Lucroy had a double last inning, was stranded at second. Ricky Weeks will started here in the bottom of the 5th. Bounce back to Lincecum his first time up. Cardinals are underway tonight. St. Louis is hosting Boston. After those two swapped players. Cardinals lead 1-0 over the Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ooh, high and tight, buzzed him. 1-1 the count on Ricky Weeks. You see Alan Craigwin is not available. He's got a foot injury. Played 1 game for the Boston Red Sox.
He's going to miss that series against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Trying to keep Ricky off the outside corner. You can see Weeks right on top of home plate. Well, Joe Kelly, what's he pitching tomorrow, right? Joe Kelly, Craig back in St. Louis.
Lance Lynn tonight for the Cardinals. Ruby De La Rosa pitching for Boston. 2-1. 2-2. Joe Kelly and Shelby Miller tomorrow, Rock. Boston at St. Louis. And then the Cardinals will have Adam Wainwright back on the mound Thursday night.
Those 2 good friends in St. Louis.
Yeah, I read a story today. They were in each other's weddings. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's how close they were. And you know, when we were there in St. Louis, that was right after the trade deadline. Remember all the discussion with the St. Louis media and those who cover the team and follow the team closely about how the clubhouse was a little disrupted and a little upset about the trade of Craig and Kelly. That probably has something to do with it. Weeks turns on one, and that gets by Sandoval. Going to leak down near the tarp. And Weeks continues to run, and he'll end up at second base with a double. A 2-strike extra base hit. Ricky Weeks, a leadoff double here in the 5th.
Yeah, breaking ball once again stayed up in the strike zone, and Ricky able to wait back on it enough. A split-fingered fastball that stayed up in the zone. Those are very hittable if they're up in the strike zone. Just out of the reach of Sandoval. He knocked it down, but Weeks able to get in for a leadoff double. So it's been the off-speed pitches by Lincecum that have been giving him trouble so far.
Runner at second to start the inning. Here is Segura. Strike one to the Brewers shortstop. Segura hitting .233. Brewers are hopeful that he can find a hot streak in that bat to finish the year. Try to get him on one of those streaks that we saw from Segura last year prior to the All-Star break. One of the main reasons he made the All-Star team last year. Maintaining a 300+ batting average.
Johnny Nair has been trying to get him to stay back. You start leaking out, you jump at the baseball, pull your shoulder, those breaking pitches become very difficult to handle. Last year, waiting back, driving that ball in the right center. We haven't seen a lot of that from Segura.
Segura just 4 for 18 on the road trip. Tough road trip for the Brew Crew. They lost both of their series, dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rays, and then 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. And feeling like they could have swept the Cardinals had they played better and
especially Sunday.
Finished things off.
That was a punch to the gut on Sunday. And as good as Garza was pitching, as soon as he came out, the Cardinals erupted for 3 runs, and that was it.
Well, the Brewers still in first place. I think just about every baseball analyst, expert, talk show host has written them off for a while as Segura takes a strike. Down he goes. Backwards K. And strikeout number 7 for Lincecum.
Written them off. They weren't even on the list for most. I mean, even after their good month of April. There's that location on the fastball. That one leaked right back over the heart of the plate. And again, it's not been the fastball that's been the problem for Lincecum tonight. It's all the off-speed stuff.
And to be honest, I think the Brewers are pretty comfortable in this role of surprise team in the NL. I think they're comfortable in the underdog role. Every time it seems like they're going to relinquish that spot, their first place spot in the National League Central, they don't. Well, you turn the calendar to April, a 20-8 month, and you hear a lot of the talk that, well, that was a fast start. They'll be coming back. The Cardinals, the Pirates, the Reds. Then you turn the calendar from May to June, same thing. June to July, and now July to August, and yet they are still there. They've been in first place either in a share or by themselves since April 5th.
Man, it's been a tremendous run, and there have been stretches where they haven't played well, but every other team in the division's gone through the same thing.
Ball and a strike on Nelson. Who is boasting a .250 batting average right now. And he goes 1-2 the count. Any batting average at all for Jimmy Nelson would have been welcomed. His hit was a big one for the Brewers in the 3rd. It was the first of the day against Lincecum, and then Gomez followed with a 2-run homer.
You don't want to waste the hits in the minor leagues, do you?
My thoughts exactly. And Nelson is down on strikes.
Unless, of course, you're a position player, then you got to get a few hits.
Nelson strikes out. 8 Ks for Lincecum. Top of the order now, and it's Gomez. Ricky Weeks still standing at second base. He started the inning with a double.
Yeah, half the strikeouts for Lincecum have been called strike threes. So he's been putting the baseball in the corners pretty well with 2 strikes. Most of the time it's been the fastball.
Down the line, foul. Gomez jumping on one. Gomez back in the third. 2 outs. Nelson had just singled. Carlos Gomez, first pitch he saw, hanging breaking ball, 16th home run of the year on the Powerball home run leaderboard. And the 2 tallies on the board for the Brew Crew tonight. 16 homers for Gomez, 56 runs batted in. Trails only Braun for the club high in RBIs. That skips away. Weeks is on his way to third, and Shusak couldn't find the handle.
Yeah, if he did, it would have been close. One more of those, and Tim Lincecum will give up a run. Lincecum, 12 wild pitches this year. Second in the National League, second most. And the split-fingered fastball, probably the reason for most of those.
Now a runner at third with 2 away. And Gomez shows bunt, gets it down. This is a beauty. A bunt single and an RBI for Cardinals. Gomez. 3-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, smart play by Gogo. Sandoval playing well behind the bag, and because of the wild pitch, Gomez figuring, why not? I'm going to drop down a bunt. If I get it in fair territory, I'll beat it out, and a run will be in. Never would have done that had Weeks still been at second base. Way behind the bag. Disguises the bunt well, and that'll be a base hit and an RBI for Gomez. Well done.
Well, you're seeing Gomez and all the things he can do. The power, the speed. A bunt and an RBI. 2 for 3 today. 57 RBIs now for Gomez. Here's Gerardo Parra. And now the other part of Gomez's game, his running game. He's 22 for 26 this year in stolen base attempts. And you figure he's going to be on the move here shortly. Lincecum takes a while. There he goes. Parra swings and flies to left. Well, Gomez had it stolen. Parra swinging away at the first pitch. Inning over. Gomez drives in another one, this time with an infield bunt single. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. What a night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin tonight. Beautiful Tuesday evening. Well, the Brewers leading 3-0 as we go to the 6th inning. Jimmy Nelson back on the mound. He'll face Joe Panik to lead off. Panik, Belt, and Sandoval. 2, 3, and 4 in the Giants order. A batting order that is without Buster Posey tonight, getting the night off. Michael Morse is out of the lineup as well. Panik singled to center field. His last time up. Nelson struck him out in the 1st inning. Jimmy has 5 strikeouts through 5 shutout innings. Coming off a 3-up, 3-down frame. Picked up his 5th K. And he falls behind 3-0 to the first hitter of the 6th inning for the Giants. In the PCL, Panik hit .321 in Fresno. Five homers, 45 RBIs. Hit .321 across 74 games in AAA. That ball's hit hard to right. Braun coming in, can't get it, able to keep it in front, and will hold Panik to a single. That was a big risk by Ryan Braun.
Well, did the right thing. He gave up the opportunity to catch the baseball and just threw his body in front of there to make sure it didn't get by him. A 3-1 fastball from Jimmy Nelson. Seems like every time they hit the ball hard, it's when he's behind in the count. And Braun kind of just throws his body in front to make sure it stays, keeps Panik to a single.
Took it right off the chest. Reminded me of Braun's third base days when he first came up. He took a few off the chest.
Yes, sir.
Third base. Which is why he said he enjoys the outfield so much more.
Yeah. They're not coming in quite as hard in the outfield either, right?
Brandon Belt slices one left center. Gerardo Parra and Gomez give chase. It's off the wall. Parra will make the play into the infield. And his strong throwing arm saves a run. That's a double for Brandon Belt. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out to start the 6th inning.
He can swing a little bit. Brandon Belt, good power to the opposite field. Off the bat, it sounded like it might have enough to get out of here. Yeah, the 2-seamer. Not a bad pitch. Left it in the middle of the plate. See Lucroy reaching for it, but the inside-out stroke. Belt drives it out into the gap off the wall, and because of that, Jimmy Nelson able to get out of this mess without a run scoring. But Bruce Bochy sensing his team's in for a big inning here.
Tim Flannery, the third base coach, was waiting on that throw. He was thinking about sending Joe Panik around third base, but Parra made a good throw. So for now, it's 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And here's Pablo Sandoval.
6th inning was the problem inning for Nelson his last start. Threw 5 scoreless innings against the Mets and then gave up a 2-run home run in the 6th. Ended up losing 2-0.
3rd time through the batting order. These big league hitters who had not faced Jimmy Nelson now getting a book on him maybe. Sandoval had the game winner yesterday in New York against the Mets. And a bouncer foul. 0-2 the count. Sandoval drove in 3 of the 4 Giants runs yesterday in a comeback win against the Mets, and he had the big hit in the 9th inning that gave him the lead. He had a double off Henry Mejia that gave the Giants a 4-3 lead. and helped them to secure that final game of the series yesterday. He will strike out. Nelson could use one right here. 0-2 the count. And that ball's hit deep to right. Way back. Braun going to the wall, looks up, and just like that, this game is tied.
On an 0-2 pitch. Only 3 batters, and we're back to even. Pablo Sandoval gives that one a ride. Pitch up in the strike zone. And no doubt about that one.
Extends his hitting streak to 6 in a row. Sandoval, who drove in 3 yesterday, gets 3 with 1 swing of the bat here today.
Yeah, far too good a pitch, and Pablo Sandoval gives that one a pretty good ride on an 0-2 count. Well, Panic with a 3-ball 1-strike base hit to start it off. Brandon Belt hit the first pitch, and then Pablo Sandoval with a home run on an 0-2 pitch.
This has been a recurring theme for the Brewers, getting early leads and giving them away, and it's typically been in the 6th inning. That's been the trouble inning for a lot of these Brewers starters, specifically Jimmy Nelson. So you got to regroup, start it all over. Bases empty. Nobody out. 3 runs are in. And Nelson facing Gregor Blanco. Blanco singled in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2. Ball and a strike. And a shot to third right at Ramirez, who was playing in. And the speedy Blanco is retired. Good play by Aramis, thinking he might drop a bunt down.
You talk about the 6th inning for a lot of starting pitchers. That's normally when you've been through the game, your pitch count's starting to climb a little bit, and hitters, particularly hitters that haven't seen much of you before. In this case, the Giants have never seen Nelson. You start getting a little bit of a better read on your pitches, and that's really when if you can get through 3 times through the batting order, you've done something in the big leagues.
Now Nelson picking up that changeup in the minor leagues last year. That's really been a difference maker for him as far as a frontline potential starting pitcher. Has a great fastball, great slider, but everything is hard from Nelson. Could use a change of pace pitch. And he hasn't thrown the changeup much here in the big leagues.
And you go with what's comfortable for you. You don't experiment with a 3rd pitch until you start settling in, relaxing a little bit. And you never want to get beat by your 3rd best pitch, that's for sure. But again, your 2-pitch pitcher, that's when it really rears its head, when you've only got 2 pitches that you can go to. And 3rd time through the batting order, these guys recognize that. They know what's coming.
2-1 to Brandon Crawford. And that ball's hit hard. Weeks flags it down. Throw to first in time. Nice play, Ricky Weeks. Out number 2 in the inning. That ball looked like it was by him.
Yeah, every batter for the Giants has hit the ball right on the nose in this inning. That ball was by him. And able to reach out, grab it, and get the out at first base. Well done, Ricky Weeks, going down. Knows he has time and makes a good throw.
So an inning that Jimmy Nelson is trying to survive here. A lot of hard hit balls in this inning, and a swing and a miss by Juan Perez. Nasty slider from Nelson. Brewers got a 2-run homer from Gomez in the 3rd. Gomez Dropped a bunt down with 2 outs to drive in the 3rd run last inning. Sandoval erased it with a 3-run home run just a moment ago. Little tapper over to Reynolds. He'll take it himself. And that will retire the side. But some damage done. 3 hits in the inning. Sandoval goes deep. A 3-run home run. And we're all even. Three after the Sandoval home run. 3-run shot. Lincecum and Nelson all even up as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Our Carshoot.com trivia. Prior to this season, the last major league pitcher to throw a no-hitter and record a save in the same season. And Lincecum did it this year. Matt Garza was the last to do it. He threw his only no-hitter for the Rays. Got a save that year. Matt Garza on the disabled list, but at least they can find a little bit of humor in what was a tough day for the Brewers, putting their first starting pitcher on the DL this year. Giovanni Gallardo wrapping them up. That doesn't look like a professional athletic trainer wrap.
That's the pre-wrap. You know, you put that over and down, and then you put the tape over top.
The skin savers.
So it doesn't rip off the hair on your arm.
Well, at least they can have a little fun with it.
2 days later, you can have fun with it. And they weren't smiling about it on Sunday.
Those obliques can be tough as well. And Garza has had that injury in the past. He missed 7 weeks of the season last year with it. Garza said it is not that severe. But I would doubt. As Braun, that's fair. Sandoval gloves and throws, and he's out. Man, what a play.
Man, he's improved a lot over there at third base. He used to be a liability defensively. Talked about the fact that he leads all major league third basemen in fielding percentage. Keep in mind his range isn't all that great. You know, behind the bag, got a backhand stab, and look at the throwing arm. That's about as far as you can throw a baseball in the infield, and able to get his man at first base. Barely.
Well, Braun runs well too. Had to get off a good throw. That ball didn't have any gravity on it, did it? I mean, there was no downward movement, just a straight laser across the diamond.
No air under it, right? 6 errors is all. Again, the range isn't all that great for Sandoval. Might not get to as many baseballs as some third basemen. But if he can get to it, he's been making a play this year.
That's inside, almost hit Ramirez. 2 balls and a strike. Believe it or not, Sandoval is actually, or as a youth, was a left-handed thrower, but growing up in Venezuela, And he wanted to be like some of the great Venezuelan shortstops, Ozzie Guillen, Vizquel. So he played shortstop and he threw right-handed. And then he was maybe thought to be a catcher. Maybe that was going to be his way to the big leagues, ultimately at third base. He's battled weight problems over the years, but he came back with a much more dedication and focus this year. He's been a great player for the Giants, and then he's been not so great, and he's been a guy that they haven't been able to count on. As Ramirez just goes the other way, he slaps it to right field, a base hit. So Ramos singles with one away, and there is the go-ahead run aboard. One out in the sixth, and Lucroy coming up.
We've seen Ramirez do this a couple of times. Did it a couple of times on the last road trip, and maybe if he continues to do that, we're not going to have that big shift on him as much. Maybe play him a little bit more straight away. You can see where Panic's playing up the middle. You shoot that ball all over the diamond, they can't do that to you, and then you start opening up some holes.
Ramirez coming off a great road trip where he hit over 500, including a home run. Single here tonight. At the plate presented by Wendy's. Jonathan Lucroy, who doubled into the gap in left center, which is no easy task against the Giants because they are set up in their outfield to protect those gaps. In the air to center field. Pretty well hit. Did he get it? To the wall, Blanco, and it's off the top of the wall. Ramirez around third will stop there. And Lucroy in at second base with a long double. Just missed.
Man, just missed it. Just missed getting out of here. I thought off the bat that ball was out of here. I mean, that had a good sound to it. And he gave that one a ride. You could hear it on the replay. I mean, that sounded like a home run, just didn't carry for Lucroy and off the top of the fence. Ramirez had to wait at second base to see if that ball was going to be caught. That's why he wasn't able to score.
Man, close. And Blanco feeling like he should have caught that ball. He was right there. Second and third, one gone. Here's Mark Reynolds. Lucroy with his second double. I'm with you. When that left the bat, it had that sound, you know, that real full sound. You knew he caught it right on the barrel. But it's a little cool tonight. You know, temperatures are in the upper 60s tonight, believe it or not. And it stayed in the ballpark.
Yeah, it just didn't carry, did it?
Reynolds trying to cash him in, and a shot to short, gloved by Crawford. And a bad break for the Brewers. Hit that one right on the nose, but right at Brandon Crawford, and the runners have to stay put.
And because they were playing halfway, Ramirez, they weren't playing contact. They were holding to make it go through, and it's a good thing.
If there are two outs on that Lucroy drive to center, Ramirez scores easily. There'd be no reason for him to stop, but because he did have to stop, he was unable to get it started up to score. And now the Brewers are going to need a two-out hit. Don't forget, as Rock mentioned, Lincecum throws a lot of wild pitches. This is a spot where Ramirez will be on his toes, ready to run if it gets into the dirt and off the catcher. Weeks had a double his last time up. He had a shot just past Sandoval at third. There's a good block back there by Susac.
Yeah, man, if you're catching Tim Lincecum, you know you're going to end up blocking a number of pitches, and a lot of pitches when there's men on base. He's only allowed one to squirt away, and it ends up costing Lincecum a run.
Weeks was the base runner on that play back in the fifth inning. A wild pitch. And then Ricky scored on Gomez's bunt single. Two and 0. Weeks getting a lot of playing time against right-handed starters lately with the injury to Jeanette. Jeanette hasn't gone on the disabled list, but still unable to start. So Ricky's been getting a lot of this time. Giants have activity in their bullpen. Juan Gutierrez getting loose. 3-0. And it's ball 4.
I don't think he wanted any part of Ricky Weeks after he got behind 2-0.
I think you're right. Weeks has 2 home runs lifetime against Lincecum and has walked 5 times. There's a little history there. Segura is a struggling hitter, and Lincecum will take his chances with the Brewers shortstop with the bases loaded. Segura is 0 for 2. Lincecum struck him out looking in the 5th. Ramirez, Lucroy, and Weeks on base. 2 hits and a walk in this inning. Brewers surrendering the lead in the top of this inning, trying to get it back. Segura fouls it away. Just a tick late. Looking for his first hit of the year with bases loaded. This would be a good spot. Missed inside. 1-1.
You wonder how willing Lincecum is going to be to throw that split-fingered fastball with the bases loaded. Cusack has shown an ability to block it. I'm wondering if he's going to take the chance.
Segura lays off. He did take a chance. Missed in the dirt. Segura doesn't bite and now has the count in his favor. 2-1.
I figure you're going to get a pretty good fastball to hit right here. I don't think Lincecum wants to go 3-1.
And a young catcher, 25-year-old Andrew Susac. Here it comes, the 2-1 on the ground to short. Crawford the easy way, and the Brewers strand the bases loaded. Missed opportunity right there. Still tied at 3 as we go to the 7th.
Miller Park this Friday for the Barrelman t-shirt giveaway. The Brewers face the Dodgers, and all fans will get a free vintage Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Orbis Corporation. Call 414 902-4000 or visit Brewers.com for tickets.
We got a nice shipment of these shirts in the booth. We've had a lot of great T-shirts this year. I think this one is my favorite.
You're going to wear that one?
I think I'm going to wear it right now.
Yeah, so you'll model that. You want me to model the
Rally
beach towel, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're going to lose the purple shirt, though, to give the beach towel its appropriate modeling.
Hey, it's lavender.
Oh, it is? Okay. It's a nice shirt. You got a nice suit on today, Rock. Rally suit.
Yeah.
That's what you call a post-road trip suit.
Everything else is dirty.
Your Sunday best on a Tuesday.
It's particularly, rank when you go to the beach area in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of humidity.
Yeah, humidity is not good for suitcase wear.
Jimmy Nelson back on the mound. His spot due up first next inning. Brewers strand the bases loaded in the 6th. And Nelson trying to get through the 7th. He's got Susak, the catcher, leading off. Lincecum next. Then to the top of the order. And a bouncer to Segura. He's got some time. Makes the play for the out. Good start to the 7th. And it looks like Lincecum will be pulled back now. Former Brewer Travis Ishikawa, who originally came up with the Giants, has returned to San Francisco. And Lincecum is out. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. Still working on his mechanics in the dugout after his start. Got to feel like a bit of a bounce back for Lincecum. He has not pitched well his last 2 times out as Ishikawa skies one to deep center.
Yeah, just missed that one, didn't he?
2 outs. Nelson's gotten away with some fastballs tonight, but the Giants didn't miss him in the 6th inning. Specifically Sandoval, who hit an 0-2 fastball into the Loge level for a 3-run homer. Top of the order, 2 outs. And a power hitter at the plate, Hunter Pence, sitting on 15 home runs this season. In constant motion, Hunter Pence, always fidgeting, tugging and pulling and re-gripping the bat.
Nervous energy, right?
Ooh, buzz bomb in there, almost hit him.
Got that open stance. That first move of the front foot is toward home plate. Always looking to cover that outside corner, and Jimmy Nelson decides to stand him up a little bit. A little too close for comfort for Pence.
2-0 to Pence. That one missed inside. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Well, the Giants typically over the years have been a green light team with 3-0. I would imagine if Pence gets one he likes, he'll take a swing at it. Ball 4. Walked him on 4 straight. And now the Giants have the go-ahead run aboard. Zach Duke in the bullpen. You got a lefty coming up in Joe Panik, who has 2 hits against Jimmy Nelson tonight, 2 out of 3. And Panik is now 5 for his last 7 at the plate.
Yeah, Giants have some hot hitters right now. Sandoval's been swinging the bat. Of course, Buster Posey's been hot. He's not in there tonight.
You got a couple of guys who started the year in AAA in a big spot in a big league pennant race right now. Nelson against Panik. Panik's hit the ball sharply twice. Clean single in the 3rd, and then he ripped one to right field in the 6th. Was on base for Sandoval's homer. Well, jam shot here, left field, playable for Parra, And Jimmy Nelson gets through 7. Needed that one. A scoreless 7th inning. Done for the night. His spot due to lead off. Two players responsible for all the runs. Gomez got it started, a 2-run home run in the 3rd. His 16th of the year. Then Gomez on a bunt single. That came with 2 outs. Scored Ricky Weeks. It was 3-0 Brewers until the 6th. And on an 0-2 fastball, Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, sends one into the Loge level and right. One swing of the bat tied it up. Sandoval with his 13th homer of the year. Now 53 runs batted in after had the game-winning RBI yesterday. 3-3 game, bottom 7. And we got some changes here. Lyle Overbay is going to pinch hit for Jimmy Nelson. So Nelson is out after 7 innings, 3 runs all earned. And the new pitcher rock is Gene Machi.
Yeah, look how good he's been. This is a very good bullpen with the San Francisco Giants, the best in the business since the All-Star break. Machi, great numbers, 155 the earned run average, leads the Giants in appearances now with 50, and very opportunistic out of that pen. He's 6-0, and he's also recorded a couple of saves.
Giants had some closer trouble with Sergio Romo. Now Santiago Casilla is their closer. Romo sets up for him. Machi has the 7th in a 3-3 game. Overbay will start it. 7 for 16 as a pinch hitter. He's done a nice job. He's hitting .438 and has a pinch hit home run this season. Giants, one of the better bullpens in the National League, even with their early troubles, and Romo having his problems surrendering his closer's job.
And just about every one of these guys that come out of that bullpen, good on. Machi's more of a sinker slider guy. He's got a splitter. Some of these guys can bring it. You can see National League bullpens, the Giants right behind the Padres.
Nearly a run better than the league average as Machi misses with a fastball, putting Overbay in a hitter's count, 2-1. Carlos Gomez due up next.
Ron Renege going with Mark Reynolds most of the time lately at first base, thinking that, you know, when Reynolds is in one of those home run streaks, you got to play it out. You got to keep him in there, see how many he can get. Real hot, real cold. Lyle Overbay, more of a guy that's contact oriented. And both of them have been playing very well defensively.
Well, you figure Overbay to get a start or 2 in this series. Giants have all right-handers going in this series. Vogelsong tomorrow. Jake Peavy whom they acquired in trade on Thursday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overbay pinch hitting, and he pulls one foul. Count remains at 2-2. Cardinals are hosting Boston tonight, and that game's all tied at 1. They go to the 7th in St. Louis. Cardinals had a 1-0 lead. Pirates are trailing the Marlins 6-3 in the 9th. They've got a little rally going in the bottom of the 9th at home, the Pirates do. As Overbay pops it foul, and that'll end up in the seats. Now the Marlins lead 6-3. Pittsburgh is batting in the bottom of the 9th, and they have a man on. So as these scores come across, we'll keep you updated. Milwaukee starts the day with a 1-game lead over the Cardinals, tied in the loss column. 1.5 ahead of the Pirates. Just 1 game up in the loss column to Pittsburgh. 2-2, back up the middle. Crawford.
Wow.
Nice play. Throw to first in time. Man.
That was slick.
Brandon Crawford on a tough hop as he's sliding to get himself into a throwing position, makes that play. That was beautiful.
There are some outstanding defensive players in this league. Look at this play. Going down, handling a tricky hop and making a good throw to get Overbay at first base. That's a big league play right there. And gets him easily at first base. A couple of steps.
He's been known to put a few on the highlight reels. Brandon Crawford takes a hit away from Overbay. Now it's Gomez with 1 out. Right off the end of the bat, Machi on a 1-3 put out. 2 outs in the 7th. Threw him the splitter, and Gomez was out in front by a mile. Those are the ones you just wish you could just swing and miss. You know what I mean? You just want to miss those, not foul them off or tip them off the end of the bat.
All right, and that split-fingered fastball is a tough pitch to recognize out of the hand. The Brewers have seen a few of them. You know, that Tampa series, Tampa Bay Rays, they had a couple of guys that threw splitters. Cobb and Odorizzi. And today, both of these guys have thrown split-fingered fastball. Tough to hit unless you hang them.
Here's Gerardo Parra. In the air, right center. Did he get this one? He's watching it. That ball's deep. And it's gone! A home run! Gerardo Parra, his first hit as a Brewer is a home run to give him a lead. It's 4-3 Milwaukee.
Yep, and he hammered that one. Looked like an off-speed pitch. And Gerardo Parra, I mean, that's the way to break into the home crowd right there. Split-fingered fastball. And he gets all of it. And he makes the first hit as a Brewer count. A 7th inning home run with 2 outs. Well, he knew it was gone. Taking a good look at that one.
Oh, that's a big one. Parra with his 7th home run of the year. 4-3 Milwaukee. And here is Ryan Braun. Parra's got a pretty good book on this Giants ball club. He had never had a hit against Machi. 0 for 3 lifetime. He sends that one deep into the bullpen. That's a good way to make some fans. And Machi hits Ryan Braun. And it got a pretty good piece of his catcher as well. I think Susak got the worst of that.
Yeah.
Hit him right in the throat.
Looked like an off-speed pitch, maybe a split-fingered fastball that caromed off of Braun somewhere, and his catcher, as you mentioned, got the worst of it. Right off the leg and right on the side of the face. Yeah.
Dave Righetti on his way to the mound, and you see Susak just trying to get his wits about him again.
Nice crowd at the ballpark tonight, Tuesday night.
And Gerardo Parra got them on their feet.
Yes, he did. Really impressive crowd. Got to be what, close to 40 tonight?
I would imagine.
Good to be home. Good crowds, enthusiastic. Why wouldn't you, right? Come to see a first place club.
Big homestand for the Brewers. Got the Giants and the Dodgers. You got contending teams. Dodgers have a 1.5 game lead over the Giants in the NL West. Dodgers have Kershaw on the mound tonight. They're playing the Angels. That game's underway in Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium. Ramos Ramirez with Braun at first. 1 for 3 tonight. Singled his last time up. Just shot one into right field for a base hit. Ramirez with 12 hits on the last road trip, including a home run. He drove in 5 runs. That skips by. Susac will have to go to the screen to get it. Braun ends up at second base. And the Brewers put a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
And now one of those singles to right. It looked pretty good. And Boat's a little bit upset about that pass, that wild pitch.
A former catcher. Just got to wonder about Susac. You know, he took a shot on that pitch that hit Braun, ricocheted right off his throat. He's done a nice job tonight blocking balls. A lot of Lincecum splitters in the dirt.
Yeah.
One that got away led to a run. We'll see if this one leads to a run as well. 2-0. And a little half swing. He goes. Home plate umpire called it.
Let's see, not a lot of fastballs, are there? Yeah, change up, splitters. A lot of movement on his fastball and nothing straight out of his hand.
Braun with good speed at second base. Tried to sneak a fastball by Ramirez. Takes it for a ball. 3-1 now.
You got to figure Ramirez might get something to hit here. I mean, you got the Brewers money man on deck.
This is go time for the Brewers. Part of this order. Braun, Ramirez, Lucroy. Gerardo Parra hit the home run that put the Crew on top. Now the Brewers trying to add to it. 2 outs in the inning. Braun at second. The 3-1 bounced foul. Back to the off-speed pitch. That might have been the slider there from Machi. That was a little harder than
87 miles an hour.
Giants have decent arms in the outfield. The best arm is in right. Pence has a cannon in right field. Braun should be able to score if it touches the outfield grass. 3-2, and down he goes. So Machi comes back, strikes out Ramirez, inning over, but the Brewers score, and Gerardo Parra, welcome to Milwaukee. His first game at Miller Park in a Brewer uniform. He goes deep to give the Crew the lead. and he delivers a home run to give him the lead in the 7th. 4-3 Brew Crew as we go to the 8th. As promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Don't forget to use that hashtag #WisFanPhoto, and it comes from Heather tonight. So thanks to Heather and her buddy for playing along. It's all brought to you by AT&T. That's at Wrigley. All right, Rocky got Will Smith on the mound now, so he is, at least tonight, back in a setup type role. Got a lot of lefties and switch hitters coming up for the Giants.
Yeah, looked good on Sunday against the St. Louis Cardinals. Tossed a scoreless 8th inning. And he ranked 2nd in the major leagues in appearances, now with 58. 66 strikeouts in 49 2/3 innings. There's a little bit of a rough patch there for a while with that 362 earned run average. We're going to put up a 0 as the middle of this Giants order to get through.
Brandon Belt will lead off. You got Belt, the lefty, the switch hitter Sandoval due up next, and then Gregor Blanco, another left-hander. You could see Michael Morse for Blanco. We'll see how. You also have Buster Posey available to hit. See how the inning goes. Fastball strike from Will Smith.
Yeah, Brewers have Jeremy Jeffress getting loose in that bullpen just in case Smith gets into some trouble.
Now, lefties have struggled against Will Smith this year, hitting just .159. Smith has 36 strikeouts. More than half of his outs against left-handed batters have been via the K.
Yep, that good slider, breaking pitch. Gets ahead, working it down and away, and they wave at it.
And Belt doesn't chase. Well, maybe Belt was right. He convinced Bruce Bochy that he doesn't need to go back to the minor leagues for a rehab assignment to get some at-bats. He's been on the disabled list with a concussion. And he's come back swinging the bat well. Has a hit tonight, a double. And he pulls that one foul right on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, struck out his first time up, lined out to center, and then hit the double to left. This is where that Will Smith slider is very effective, when he has 2 strikes on those left-handed hitters.
In the air, little pop up. Weeks is making the call, and he's got it for the out. Big sweeping breaking ball. Belt is retired. 1 gone for Will Smith in the 8th.
Hey, tonight's tower of the game winner, Nipper Sink Country Club in Genoa City. That's on the Illinois border. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, Nipper Sink Country Club gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
A little 19th hole at the Nipper Sink.
Yeah. Best part of golf.
Settle all the wagers. It is. That's where you forget all the things that went badly. Sandoval turns around, hits right-handed, which is where the Brewers want him. Much better left-handed hitter. Sandoval's hitting just 185 as a right-handed batter. 326 off the left side. 3-run homer as a lefty hitter in the 6th.
Batting average might not be all that great, but he still has the power. 4 home runs as a right-handed hitter. A lot more at-bats as a lefty.
Yeah, about 3 times as many. Smith misses again. It's a pretty good fastball, but it's just off the edge. And Smith is behind 3-0.
And you know he's going to be swinging.
No doubt. If he likes it, he'll go. Lost him. Walked him on 4 straight. So the door is open a little bit for the Giants.
Hey, join the Brewers and Miller Coors for craft brews at the ballpark this Friday and sample a variety of specialty beers before the Brewers showdown with the Dodgers. Plus, guests will receive a souvenir Brewers pint glass. Register today at brewers.com/special events.
So Bochy announces the pinch hitter, Michael Morse. And Renicky is going to play matchup here. And Smith is done for the night. Gets 1 out. Walks a batter. And he will exit as Renicky goes to Jeffress. Late inning relief has been a struggle for the Brewers here lately. See if they can turn the page tonight. We'll take a break. Brewers have hit 2 homers in this game. Carlos Gomez had a 2-run shot in the 3rd. All 3 runs for the Giants came on a Sandoval home run in the 6th. So Will Smith comes on. He walks a batter after an out. And now Renicky's going to turn the ball over to Jeremy Jeffress, who was closing games in AAA before his call up. And he's back at it here tonight after a rough outing against the Cardinals.
They had 5 saves down in AAA Nashville. Yeah, gave up 3 hits when he came into the ball game, a run. He suffered the loss against the Cardinals. He got called up on July 21st and took the roster spot of Rob Wooten, who is back with the ball club today.
Matt Garza placed on the disabled list today. Brewers have an extra arm in that bullpen. Jeffress gets the call. Michael Morse will pinch hit. He's in a 1 for an 11 slump at the plate right now. Boy, had a pretty good lash at that one as he fouls it back.
Yep, 96. He's got a great fastball, does Jeremy Jeffress. He's always had a good fastball. It's the other stuff that he needs to be more consistent with. Throw for strikes.
Morse has bounced into 16 double plays this year. Brewers are set up for one here, and Morse takes a ball. That is among league leaders in double plays grounded into. You saw the 15 home runs by Morse. 13 of those came in his first 59 games of the season. Got off to a very fast start. One ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Giants have Sandoval at first.
And not a real threat to run. You got to keep an eye on him. Been all fastballs from Jeffress.
Three balls and a strike. Getting to K-Rod. the Brewers closer has been a challenge for Milwaukee. They've let a lot of leads get away late in games. Looks like Smith starting to fatigue a little bit. He hasn't been quite the same since the All-Star break. Brandon Kinsler's been in and out of these late inning roles. 3-1. More swing and a miss. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, went out of the strike zone, did Morse, and swung right over the top of it. Right, reaching back, giving it all he has, a four-seamer. Still had a little bit of movement on it. Morse didn't even come close.
No secrets here. Power against power. Jeffress deals. Morse draws the walk. Back-to-back walks. And now the Giants have 2 on. The tying run at second base in scoring position. And here comes Brandon Crawford.
I just wonder what Jeremy Jeffress would be able to do. He's able to throw a breaking pitch and get that into the head of the hitters. He doesn't throw many. Has yet to throw one in this appearance.
Well, the Brewers still looking for a ground ball double play. Unlike Morse, Crawford, one of the toughest to double up. Runs well. First and second, 1 out. And this big crowd has gone quiet. And Jeffress misses again.
And no activity in that Brewers bullpen. I guess this is going to be Jeffress' inning.
Rick Kranitz on his way out. He might have spotted something. Maybe giving him a boost of encouragement here. This is not a role that Jeffress has been in very often in his career. Now, coming through the minor leagues, yes. It's different on the big stage.
Well, he's been in the big leagues before. I mean, he's no, you know, he's pretty familiar with this situation. I mean, not his first rodeo. Just a matter of being able to throw the ball over the plate.
1-0 to Crawford. 2-0. Brandon Kinsler beginning to stir in that Brewers bullpen. Now Crawford in the driver's seat here. 2 on, 1 out. And he's late, fouls it back. 2-1. That gives you an idea of the fastball of Jeffress.
And 97, a little bit of movement. Just got to iron out those mechanics, a repeatable delivery, and not try to overthrow.
Nine pitches, all fastballs, all 95 plus. Crawford in the air, left field. Parra's got a long way to go. That's slicing into foul territory. Did he get it? Yes, he did. What a play by Gerardo Parra. A 2-time Gold Glove Award winner.
Yeah, nice. Very nice out there in left field. That ball slicing away from Gerardo Parra. It was in foul territory. Able to make the catch sliding and keeps the base runners right where they were. Good speed, able to slide and avoid contact with a wall. And that is a huge out right there.
Man, what a play. Gerardo Parra. And that was on a 3-1 count. And that's the second out. And now Bruce Bochy is going to take a shot at it right here. So he's going to go with his big bat, Buster Posey. Posey pinch hitting for Juan Perez. 2 outs, 2 on. Tying run at second for the Giants. And he starts it with a breaking ball.
There you
Strike
go.
1.
Nice. Fooled everybody in the ballpark. You throw that for strikes, that'll get into a hitter's head.
Posey walked 4 times yesterday. Coming off a big series against the Mets. He was 6 for 14. Had a double, a homer, 3 runs batted into the series. One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning. Posey takes ball 2.
Posey hits the ball all over the diamond, and as you mentioned, 4 walks in that series against the Mets. He is patient at the plate and has a lot of pop in that bat. 13 home runs this year.
Jeffress behind in the count. 2-1. Posey takes a ball. Didn't miss by much. You could tell Lucroy wanted that call, and he's got something to say here to Tom Hallion.
And Lucroy doesn't talk too much or complain too much about pitches. And it looked like that could have easily been called a strike, but you've got a former MVP at the plate. I don't think that doesn't have something to do with it.
It's a dangerous count here for Jeffress. 3 balls, 1 strike. And a swing and a foul. He took a big rip. But that came in at 98.
And had a good one to hit too.
Posey has 8 hits in his last 16 at-bats with runners in scoring position. This is the guy the Giants want at the plate. Does he dare throw him a slider here? He's thrown 1. Full count. 2 outs. The runners get a head start, and a breaking ball struck him out. Jeremy Jeffress goes with the hook, and Posey strikes out to end the inning. Saved the best for last. Wasn't even a strike. Brewers still lead 4-3.
he got a good pitch hit out over the plate and let it go. And then defensively, what a nice catch going down the line and being able to slide and make a nice left-handed catch.
It helps being a left-handed thrower in that situation. The left hand working in your favor.
Yeah, it's a lot tougher if you were right-handed and try to reach over. But, you know, this guy's a gold glove outfielder, did a nice job.
All right, full reaction Brewers live postgame on the way following the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig and Davey, thanks. Certainly a big moment in the game on that catch by Parra. Jonathan Lucroy will lead off as we play in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 Milwaukee. A lot of changes here for the Giants. Brandon Belt moves over to right field. Goes from first base to right field. Pence moves over to center field. And then the two guys who pinch hit are now in the game. Michael Morse in left. And Buster Posey stays in and plays first base. Jeremy Jeffress coming back with a slider rock to strike out Posey with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, it surprised everybody, including Buster Posey. He was looking fastball, you know that. And that's what we were talking about. I mean, if he's able to throw that pitch for strikes, he's going to have himself a pretty good career. I mean, it's all about that off-speed pitch for strikes.
And one pitch leads to the next, right? Posey's in a 3-1 count. He gets a fastball. You know he's looking for a fastball. Gets one and fouls it off to the right.
Right.
Late. That was a 98-mile-an-hour heater. Thinking he had to maybe start it a little early, and it wasn't even a great breaking ball from Jefferson, meaning it wasn't a strike, but even a guy with a good eye like Buster Posey flying away and strikes out to end the inning.
And that's the thing about the fastball. I mean, you got to start the bat early. I mean, if you know that's all he's going to be throwing, that's one thing. But you just have to flip it up there, and you get swings like that from a very good hitter.
Lucroy draws the walk. On base for the 3rd time. Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play. The breaking ball that strikes out Buster Posey to end the inning.
One of the best hitters in baseball, Buster Posey, making him look bad, throwing the breaking pitch. And a great call by Jonathan Lucroy. He went right to it, and that's why Posey wasn't expecting it. He was expecting fastball, and he looked bad on the breaking ball.
Well, the Brewers with a base runner to start the 8th. They could use some insurance. Mark Reynolds now. Bruce Bochy trying to get a couple of innings out of Machie. Gave up the home run to Parra. That gave the Brewers the lead. A 2-out solo home run by Gerardo Parra. That came with 2 outs and nobody on. Yusmeiro Petit loosening in the Giants' pen. Jimmy Nelson right now in line for the win. Machie on the hook for the loss. Nelson went 7 innings, 3 earned runs, all on that one swing by Sandoval. Had just 1 walk and 5 Ks.
Another good start for Jimmy Nelson. That's 3 in a row.
I mean, he's been a mistake or 2 away in each of his starts from dominating major league hitters like he was dominating PCL hitters in AAA.
Yeah, with basically 2 pitches, right? He's able to command that changeup. I mean, it's all we talk about, it seems like, with some of these young guys that have good arms. You throw something other than fastball for strikes. I mean, you can be dominant. Nelson's got that good slider, the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer. If he comes up with something like a curveball or more confidence in the changeup, look out. He's already good.
Ball and 2 strikes on Reynolds. 0 for 3 tonight. The Brewers team leader in home runs. And for the most part, operating in a platoon. It's not a hard platoon with Overbay, but he doesn't start every day, and yet he still leads the club with 19 homers. One and two. Runner takes off. Lucroy. The pitch is low and away. Slide to second. And out is the call. Lucroy, I think he missed the bag with his foot. Lucroy did, which made him out. He beat the throw.
Man, not that good a throw by Susac. I mean, it was on the third base side of the bag. It's short hop. Second base. That's a heck of a play by Panic. Lucroy doesn't steal many, but normally he makes it. There's a good play by the Giants second baseman right there.
I mean, he's got his leg right in front of the base.
You just take a chunk out of it. Maybe he won't do that again. I mean, that's something that, you know, they talk about not supposed to block off the bags. I mean, you can't block off home plate anymore, so why should you be able to block off second base? A lot of guys do it, though. One thing will eliminate that, though.
Yep.
Don't try to avoid a guy when his leg's in front of the bag. Go right into it.
2-2 to Reynolds. Wave and a miss. Foul tip, I should say. And it's still a 2-2. Reynolds looking for his first 20-homer season. Well, he had one last year. I beg your pardon. Split his time between the Indians and the Yankees. He's had 20 homer years in every year, but his first season in the big leagues with the Diamondbacks. His best year, he had 44 and drove in 102 in 2009. Last year, hit 21 combined home runs. Sitting on 19. A shot. The shift is on, and Reynolds right into it. Crawford makes a play for the out. 2 outs.
A couple of times now that Mark Reynolds has stung one right on the nose and hit it right at Crawford at short.
Subway in-game box score. The Brewers have 4 runs on 8 hits. 3 runs batted in by Gomez. Hit a 2-run homer, had a bunt single for an RBI. And Parra's home run with 2 outs in the 7th, giving the Brewers the lead. Lucroy's been on base 3 times, 2 hits, 2 doubles, and that walk. 2 outs for Weeks. Looking ahead to the Giants in the 9th inning. Their catcher Susac will lead off. Got the pitcher spot after that. And into the top of the order in Hunter Pence.
And most of the big bats not going to have to deal with unless the Giants get some type of big rally going.
Bochy using Morse and Posey in the top of this inning.
Yeah, those are the 2 guys I was talking about. You get through that 8th inning with those 2 guys hitting, you have to feel pretty good about yourself.
Already used Ishikawa and Morse and Posey. Just 2 left on the bench for Bochy. Matt Duffy, a rookie, and Joaquin Arias. Weeks takes a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ricky. A double and a walk tonight. He doubled and scored in the 5th. He scored on the Gomez bunt single. That made it 3-0. Machid in a 1-2 count. And he got him. Weeks strikes out, and the inning is over. And it's time for Frankie Rodriguez. The Brewers are 3 outs away from a victory game 1 of this series. And to the 9th we go. 4-3 Milwaukee. And our Miller Lite What's on Tap. We're back at it tomorrow here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Game starts at a little after 7 and on the air at 6:30 for Brewers Live. Ryan Vogelsong for the Giants against Giovanni Gallardo, sitting on a consecutive scoreless inning streak over 16 innings. He'll be on the mound looking for win number 7, coming off a victory against the Rays his last time out. That's tomorrow. K-Rod on to try to nail it down as we go to the 9th. Columbia St. Mary's save tracker now at 32 for Frankie Rodriguez.
Yeah, 6th time. He's looking to go the 30-plus save plateau for the 6th season. He's got, actually, he already has it. 32 out of 36 and making appearance number 53 tonight. You know, last pitched on Friday against the Cardinals and picked up a save.
Andrew Susac, the Giants catcher, and a swing and a miss. Giants have Posey in the game at first base. Hector Sanchez is the backup catcher, and he's been out with a concussion. He's on the comeback trail. Been cleared for a minor league rehab. In the meantime, it's Susac, hits one into right. Easy fly ball for Braun. There is out number 1.
Well, going with 2 fastballs to get Susac. Fastballs on the outer half of the plate. Well, important to get the first 2 here, then you get to have to deal with the top of the order. K-Rod's changeup's been much better his last handful of appearances, keeping it down over the plate and getting some strikeouts.
Pinch hitter for the Giants, Joaquin Arias. He'll hit in the pitcher spot. Giants have just 1 player remaining, and that is Matt Duffy. Hunter Pence on deck, top of the Giants order. Big hitter for K-Rod here with 1 away, and he falls behind him 2-0. There's a dangerous bat waiting.
Yeah, leadoff hitter with power.
2-0 the count. That one's in there. Fastball, 2-1. Another one. I think he fooled him twice.
Only looking for a changeup or something, because those two fastballs right down the heart of the plate. And now you go to the changeup.
Back-to-back fastballs. 2-2 the count. Lucroy sets up away. K-Rod deals, and he went with another fastball. And Arias takes it.
Every pitch has been a fastball so far in this inning.
K-Rod 2 saves away from the league lead. Trevor Rosenthal of the Cardinals with 34 saves. K-Rod and Craig Kimbrell with 32. 3-2 pitch, bouncer, foul past third. Rosenthal saved the last 2 games against the Brewers over the weekend to regain his top spot in the National League. Cardinals and Red Sox are tied at 2, bottom of the 8th. Full count. Got him.
Another fastball. Every pitch in this inning has been a fastball. And Frank able to put that one right on the outside corner. Might have been a little bit off the plate, but Joaquin Arias chases it, thinking it's too close to take. 2 outs, nobody on.
If you had never seen Frankie Rodriguez in your life, you're scouting him tonight. You're writing up your report. Loves the fastball. See a lot of fastballs. Here's Pence. Brewers lead by a run. And that one missed badly.
Now you're going to go some changeups and curveballs. You're not going to go all fastballs to this guy.
Too risky. Pence has homered off K-Rod in his career. He's got a small sample size, just 2 for 5, but one of those 2 hits, a home run. Two up, 2 down. Brewers up 4-3 with Pence at the plate. Last hope for the Giants, and that one skips in. 2-0. Marlins hung on to beat the Pirates tonight, 6-3. Cardinals, Red Sox tied at 2, bottom 8. Brewers trying to take care of business and remain atop the division by themselves. Hitters count for Pence. And that missed only by a little. 3-0 the count.
And that changeup. Now Pence looking fastball. The only reason that he took it. It fooled him.
Remember, we're talking about the Giants and how they swing away 3-0 a lot. Wonder if he'd do it here. He does, and he fouls it off. K-Rod threw him a changeup.
He knew he was swinging.
A 3-0 changeup.
And Pence looking to tie it up. There's a changeup grip. Got it down in the zone, and Pence way out in front of it, as you would expect.
That opens the door for a few other options. (3-1). Pence takes ball 4. So he went with a heat, but he didn't get the strike zone.
And he got good speed at first base.
The tying run is aboard.
And look for him to try and steal. You can run on K-Rod with that big high leg kick.
And here's the young Joe Panik. Panik's had a good night. 2 for 4. Hit the ball sharply twice. 3 hits yesterday against the Mets. And Pence digging in over there at first base. Pence has 10 stolen bases. He's 10 for 14. And Panic doesn't bite on that changeup. A lot of young hitters do, but he didn't.
Yeah, if you're Frankie Rodriguez, you don't want to worry too much about quickening your delivery too much and make a mistake. They tried to quick pitch a little bit, slide step, if you will. Didn't have his normal delivery.
Brewers clinging to a 1-run lead. 2 outs in the inning. Panic takes a strike. Fastball in there. Needed that one.
Yeah, right at the bottom of the strike zone right there.
See what it gives him here. And a chopper. Weeks coming in. Got to make a tough play. Throwing to first and not in time. Panic beat it out. Reynolds thinks he's out. And this one may go to a challenge.
Now, if you're Ricky Weeks, what you do is you got to run right into Hunter Pence, and that would have ended the game. He slowed down, let Pence go by, and because of that, they might have lost the out. Check it out. Watch Ricky. He's going to slow down a little bit.
And Pence kind of slowed down to disrupt the play. Ooh, this is going to be close.
I think that this might end the ball game.
This is going to be probably the best look at it. Oh, doesn't look like the foot. It's not. The foot is not down.
Yeah, he's out.
So this game could end on an overturned call. Ooh, is there enough evidence there? Is it clear and convincing? I tell you, the ball's in the glove. The foot's not on the bag yet.
Foot's not on the bag. No, it's not.
If you're looking at it from these.
This might take a while, though.
The Brewers colored glasses here. Is there enough? Well, the crowd just saw the replay here on the big board. They think there's enough to end this game. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, calling umpire Hal Gibson. There's already been a Hal Gibson call tonight that has been overturned.
I don't want to speculate. I mean, we've seen them before that, you know, they don't change them. Remember, the call on the field is safe. Is there enough to overturn it? We'll see. You can watch it 100 times. You're going to see the same thing. It looks as though Panic's foot is not down as that ball hits the leather of Mark Reynolds. We'll see.
And one thing to note, we've shown you all of our replays, but in New York, the umpire assigned to this game has the chance to look at all of the Giants telecast replays as well. Not sure there'd be any more conclusive than that. I'll tell you the best look at it from the low third base position, and the ball and glove, and oof.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it could go either way. I mean, it's taking a while.
And the longer it takes, the longer they're looking and searching for different angles. Tom Hallion, all he can do is wait.
Yeah, he has nothing to say about it anymore, and either does Hal Gibson.
And I'm sure the umpires in New York, they know the situation. There is an umpire assigned to this game, but he can ask for help. He has a supervisor behind him.
And the call on the field is safe. That's the important thing. If they can't come up with any foolproof evidence, clear and convincing evidence, they're going to stick with a call on the field.
It's a huge call. It could end the game if it's overturned. If not, it'll be first and second with Brandon Belt coming up.
Yeah, number 3 hitter who's already got a double. And then you got Sandoval coming up.
Here it comes. Tom Hallion will make the call, and he is out, and the game is over. the most thrilling challenge we have seen.
Oh boy, that could have gone either way. My goodness.
The Brewers get the call. The game is over. Gerardo Parra with a game-winning home run for the Crew. Made a spectacular defensive play as well in his first game at Miller Park as a Brewer. And it ends on an overturned call at first base. Makes a winner out of Jimmy Nelson. K-Rod with save number 33. 4-3 victory for the Brew Crew as we check in with Craig Kishon and Davey Nelson. It's time for Brewers Live.
We may have to call the ending of this one the